Yeah, man. Peace to you, family. Peace to you. And we are going to continue to explain to you. Okay, this is for educational, entertainment, and wise up purposes only. You know what I'm saying? For the people that are at the level. Okay, it's not for everybody. And of course, you should share these videos because what I have to tell you here, man, is what we are investigating the coming resets and how it's all set up. You know what I'm saying? How they got everything already set up around you to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? And Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? We believe He's behind this, He's behind the earthquakes. Yahweh is behind the clouds. He tells you in the script that He's going to come as clouds. Yahweh Himself is coming down as clouds, causing storms, causing destruction, winds and destruction. You know what I'm saying? Including earthquakes and so-called volcanoes that they want you to believe on and all the other stuff that these scientists keep pushing at you. Yeah, all unpredictable, destructive, mega destructive activities that they will claim are all natural events. But according to our investigations, it's not so. And you're going to see why. Because we think outside the box. Yeah, this is Yellowstone, and they claim that it's been shut down and this and that because the volcanoes are taking off from time to time. Sometimes it comes in, sometimes it stays off for years on end, you know, for decades on end, for 50 years, it don't come on, and then next minute it just comes on. 4 days, every day, you know. I told you, it's not natural. Yeah, there's something behind it, and this we know because the script point to Yahweh. Yahweh Himself says that He is the one that causes all of that. It's not natural, and we know Yahweh is not no Mosai. He's not no creator. Yeah, so He's working. He's got weapons that you can help us to find out what type of weapons He's using to do this. But for so far, I think is either using laser or is either using magnetic weapons or is either using uh, radio weapons. You know what I'm saying? Most likely, I believe it's radio that is causing all of that. Okay, all you have to do is concentration of radio, like a laser somewhere, and you're gonna see things boiling up, including rocks, because it totally creates a massive high temperature, and not only that, it disintegrates the matter. Yeah, these are high science that they never told you at school and never will. It's up to you to use your brain, you know what I'm saying, to see what these dudes are up to. And you know that this is Yellowstone, you know what I mean? All these places are set for destruction. That's why they don't want nobody going around there. You know, they claim it's a park, you know what I mean? They don't want nobody live there. So this thing is going on. And they make the area unpredictable. See that? So that they can, but this area here, if you concentrate, if you study, you're going to find out that it can give answers to other things that we've been seeing in the past, like the research that they did in the past, that you see melted bricks, okay? And these bricks didn't melt by themselves. These bricks were melted by something like that is melting this so-called volcano. I say so-called because it's not natural or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it's natural. Okay, it's my opinion. I'm not a scientist. Okay, this is just free thinking people coming out with answers. You understand that? So don't get all oh, he's not a scientist. If you worship a scientist, go over there in the other side of YouTube and they're going to explain to you what they believe. Okay? And you better, follow them then. Because here we're going to use our common sense. We're going to use our senses, man. Understand that? So let's see what's going on in so-called Yellowstone Park.
Things like the Blade Pool overflow in intervals, creating a spectacle for visitors to enjoy. Additionally, Yellowstone has nearly 300 waterfalls. It just seems like there's no end to the spectacle this park offers. Since there's an incredible array of wildlife as well, from the majestic grizzly bears and wolves to the herds of bison and elk, you'll feel like you're in the heart of a nature documentary. With all these features in Yellowstone Park, it's a shame that it has to be closed down for threatening reasons. But Peter Ducey has explained that there's no way to avoid it, and measures are being put in place to contain the threats. Among the interesting features in Yellowstone is the supervolcano, lurking beneath the surface.
No, wait. Just look at that, people. Look at that. What's boiling in there? Something that is so hot. It's not natural, people. You won't get that temperature out of nowhere just like that. Okay? You don't get that temperature just like that without having something to heat it. Yeah, this is done by a weaponry of some type. Just because you don't know what, it doesn't mean it's not there. And standard is advanced stuff from other roads before us that we don't even know what it is, but it's there, and that's what they use. And I believe it's the same stuff they use to melt the old road. Yeah, and this is just a display of what it do. But it's telling you, because you were born after the reset, because if they show this before, the people will know. But they show you like it's something natural, but you're going to see that it's not natural, because it comes with earthquakes and everything. Yahweh is behind of that, because it talks about earthquakes, it talks about the fire, yeah, it talks about molten rocks. It's Yahweh work. He's got some type of weapons, and he does this. You see that?
In the park is classified as a caldera because it's a massive volcanic crater formed after a colossal eruption. It stretches about 45 miles in diameter, while the last major eruption happened thousands of years ago, and what's left is the remains of that ancient catastrophic event. It seems there's now a huge chance the volcano will be activated again.
So he speaks about this major catastrophic event. Yeah, they telling you that this event is going to happen again. That this is a rhetorical activity going on here. Okay, and you're going to see that the scientists are not going to explain to you what is causing this. Yeah, they're not going to explain to you the same way we're going to explain to you. Okay, because you're not supposed to know certain things. You're not supposed to think. You're supposed to take the juice.
Yellowstone Park being closed down. It's not the first time Yellowstone Park will be temporarily closed, but the reason behind it this time is quite terrifying and poses a huge risk to the whole world. It is widely known that the amazing geysers and hot springs in the park are a direct result of the supervolcano's underlying heat and geological activity, and the last major eruption of the supervolcano happened about 640,000 years ago. However,
hold on, how the hell do you know these dates, people? 640,000, how the hell do you know these people were not even there? How they measure that? You see how they think you're dumb? That's how they get you. They make a story, they draw a big number that is too big for your brain, and you're not going to question, because the number is too big, isn't it? So you're not going to question.
The park was last closed down during COVID in 2020 to contain the spread of the virus. This isn't surprising since many businesses were closed down during that period too.
And don't think that this thing is not all connected. Yeah, when they do some bullshit and close down, they're working. They're doing something in there. They don't want nobody go there. They close the park. They tell you nobody can go there. You don't know what they're doing there. If they're planting what you remember this stuff they put in the World Trade Center and it burned like what they call it, termites. How do you know they were planting termites underground of this volcano? And then it's causing a massive burn that is gonna burn for days and years on end. Massive, they got things that you don't even know about. So for you to be naive and believe every story these people just come out and intend to tell you and then talk about 64,000 years and this and that, 100,000 years, look man, use your brain, use your common sense, man. They lying and they thinking, and if you don't think, if you think, you're going to understand what they did in old world using this same technology that you see right here. Yeah, because he claims he's melting rocks. You need a lot of energy to do that. But the old world, that's what happened. We see that most of these buildings were all melted. They were cooked by some weaponry. So it's nothing natural.
Yellowstone was closed back in 2012 because of a wildfire known as the Alder Creek Fire. The fire started in early August 2012, and its rapid spread and potential danger prompted the...
No fire starts alone. No fire starts alone. It's all man-made, people. Yahweh, he promised fire, he promised rain, he promised storms, he promised melting rocks, and he promised earthquakes.
Protect both visitors and park resources. Once the situation was brought under control and the risk diminished, the park reopened gradually.
You mean
with affected
once they
areas
finished the
remaining closed
PSYOP
for some time until they were deemed safe for public access. Other major occasions that have led to its closure in the more distant past too are related to fires and, at one time, a flood. This time, though, it has been observed that...
Yeah, man, this is what you guys have to understand. Okay? These people think that we are too dumb to understand what they do. Okay? But it's not the case. When they tell you that there's a flood, they can create floods. There's a volcano, they can create volcanoes. There's a earthquake, they can create all this stuff. Yahweh can create all of that because it is in the script. And they did it before. And we know they can do that over and over and over again.
Beneath Yellowstone is waking up from its centuries-old sleep. Although the volcano itself is in northwestern Wyoming, most of the park is made up of molten and semi-molten rock called magma. This magma flows into a deposit deep below the park's surface called a magma chamber and solidifies over time. Scientists have been keeping a close eye on this whole process for a long time. They've been studying how the magma cools and solidifies, which can cause the ground to swell or even sink. Between 2004 and 2009, the ground rose about 25 centimeters, but in 2010, it began to sink again. They have also been using a temperature recording system in the Norris Geyser Basin to monitor activity and get information about...
So all that you see there, these people are doing, they're destroying the land somehow. You understand that? And these people that, are doing that, you have no idea who they are. You have no idea why they're doing this, but it's all a plan. It's all for the coming destruction. They are training there and using their weapons to do this stuff because they got to use them somewhere before they use it in the day of the Christian last day. They're going to use that over your house and your house is going to melt. According to Yahweh, that's what's going to happen. He said that he's going to heat up There will be rocks and fire flying up in the air and everything. That's how much pressure and how much heat and explosions is going to create down there. They want to destroy so-called America. Don't think this is something else. It's there the whole time waiting for that. That's why it's all sealed up. That's why nobody can go there. It's a psyop area, it seems. You know what I'm saying? And they preparing to the day of Yahweh. That's what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna all this stuff. You're gonna see the land melting around, massive holes collapsing, houses collapsing, cracks, all types of destruction, just like they did in the road before us. That's what they're planning. Because if you notice, they got everything set up to destroy you. They got wars going on that they claim these wars are set up to escalate. You know what I'm saying? You got the Religio over there destroying a lot of people, killing a lot of people in so-called Palestine. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody's business what they do there, other than the people that are involved. You know what I'm saying? So they expect it to escalate. They expect Iran to get into some war with them and all that. And Russia and China. Okay? And these three can't wait to get to destroy you because they are involved in this. Don't think they become superpower just to be over there playing these games. No. They're there to destroy the whole entire earth. They all in it. Don't think they separate. They all in it. Okay. Look, man. Don't believe none of them are enemy. They all together, working together. Okay, to destroy us. It's not about them. It's about destroying us. Okay. So when you hear Iran, oh, these guys are helping Israel. We're gonna bomb England. Yeah, it's what they got planned. They're gonna bomb England. Because England and so-called America are involved with the Religio over there, destroying innocent people in their land. So then they're gonna make it that the Arabs are too furious, and they want revenge. And guess who they're coming for? They're not coming for these dudes that are doing this, because they are all together. Don't worry about it. You won't see them. They're not going to get destroyed. All they're going to get destroyed are the innocent people that live in their cities. Yeah? It's all planned. You know what I'm saying? It's you that they're coming for. That's why they got all this Palestinian thing going on. And, well, you guys keep your mouth shut. Don't say nothing about it. But it's going to come back to you. Because it's meant to come back to you. And it's meant to destroy you. That's why they got all this stuff going on. Because this is just showing you what they can do and what they're going to do. They're going to melt these cities, people, using this type of techniques that you have no idea what they're doing. But that's what they're going to do. Just watch.
Norris Geyser Basin is one of the oldest thermal basins in the U.S. The place is hot, with thermal features that go way back, dating around 115,000 years. The temperature here can reach a mind-boggling 459 degrees Fahrenheit just 1,000 feet below the surface. One of the marvels at the basin is the Steamboat Geyser, towering at a stunning 400 feet tall. It used to erupt rarely, and its eruptions were unpredictable, sometimes happening every 4 days, and other times taking as long as 50 years to burst into action. But things changed in March 2018. Since then, Steamboat has been erupting as frequently as once a week. It went all out in 2018 with 32 eruptions, breaking previous records, but it outdid itself again the next year with a whopping 48 eruptions. Over the observation period in 2023, there was a new unexpected eruption on May 7th, making it the fourth unexpected one in the year.
See that?
This eruption happened near the famous Old Faithful, which is known to go off regularly, as earlier mentioned. However, the unexpected eruption came with a new thermal feature.
And you think that the Creator will make a world that is unpredictable like that? You could be somewhere in this land, and the soil just collapse on you. You know that, because you don't know what they're doing underneath. You don't know what they're doing really, and they're not going to tell you. Okay, but since everybody lives in a belief system, they believe everything that these scientists tell them and feel safe about it. When they say, "Oh, it's okay, it's not safe to go there. We're going to close. We're going to open. We're going to close. We're going to open." They're doing their experiments. Okay? And they have weapons. They are causing this. Look, man, this is what I believe. I don't care what you believe. I don't care if you listen to them and believe them. I don't care. I'm talking about my sixth sense. It's telling me that these are the same weaponry that they've been using back there, melting these old buildings that we saw back there, all melted bricks and all that. They've been using this same technology. And if you notice, the scientists are not going to tell you where the hell this larva came from and how it gets so hot, what causes it. They are not going to tell you where they get all that energy, because the energy don't just come out of nowhere and heat the place and melt rocks and boil the water. Look, man, you need to wake the hell up and think.
Water. Because of this, the authorities had to close the surrounding boardwalk for visitors' safety. But that's not all. Back in September 2022, there was another event where some eruptions brought up human debris that had been discarded over the years. Recently, the University of Utah has set up a seismograph network. The network of scientists has placed seismometers strategically throughout the park and nearby areas to detect even the tiniest earthquakes or ground tremors related to volcanic activity. By analyzing the seismic data, they can figure out where earthquakes happen, how deep they are, and how big they are. This helps them understand how the magma is moving underground.
So even they're telling you that even they themselves don't know where the earthquake happened. So they have to be using methods to find out where it started and this and that, because they're too dumb, but they don't know. But they know some shit like happened 150,000 years ago. This shit happened, and there was a major earthquake that destroyed the entire place. Yeah. So how is that possible? That they know all of that, but don't know what is causing that larva. They don't know where the earthquakes, what causes the earthquakes, and they just keep telling you, we're gonna find out where it starts, and and that's that. After all this time, they're investigating this. That's all they're gonna tell you. You know that is a psyop, and you know they're not telling you more because they know you don't have the schooling and you don't have the mind to question. Okay, and the majority of the world are asleep, so they can tell them whatever the hell they want.
Going on. So far, about 148 earthquakes have been detected in the region this year. We can conclude that Yellowstone Park has been giving subtle signs with the recent changes happening in the area. This has led the park authorities to consider locking it up till all the concerns about an impending volcanic eruption are cleared. What makes a supervolcano more dangerous than an ordinary one? The news of possible eruptions has gotten people understandably worried about visitor safety and the delicate ecosystems in the park, and it's for good reason. Supervolcanoes are known to be much more dangerous than mild ones. This made a group of scientists discuss the difference between these two. Most volcanic eruptions happen on a smaller scale, but supervolcanoes are on a whole other level. Yellowstone Park has had massive eruptions in the past, and these eruptions are classified as VI8 in the Volcanic Explosivity Index. It is, however, not the only supervolcano in the United States. There's also the Long Valley Caldera in California near Mammoth Mountain. Therefore, California has its share of volcanic areas with molten rock beneath the surface, especially along the San Andreas Fault. An earthquake of magnitude 6 is likely to occur in this area as well too, since it's not
This new groundbreaking innovation allows you to go online anywhere in the world and avoid expensive internet contracts. And greedy
Earthquake of magnitude 6 is likely to occur in this area as well too, since it's not totally inactive. Now, talking about the magnitude of the Volcanic Explosivity Index, VEI, the index is like a scale that scientists use to measure how explosive and intense volcanic eruptions are. It looks at things like how high the eruption column goes.
So, two things, people. It's explosive and it's intensely hot. Two things that men make. Just remember that.
Material is thrown out and how long the eruption lasts. The VEI scale goes from 0 to 8, with 8 being the most catastrophic and violent eruption ever. At the lower end of the scale, eruptions are pretty small and localized, with limited impact beyond the nearby volcano. As the VEI level goes up to 3 and 4, eruptions become more explosive and may generate taller eruption columns. This can lead to things like pyroclastic flows of hot ash, gas, and rocks, and also have significant impacts on the region around the volcano. When the VEI level hits 5, that's when eruptions become large with substantial ash plumes and a wider distribution of volcanic material, also called tephra. This means impacts can be widespread, affecting a larger area surrounding the volcano and causing disruptions in transportation and the environment. But it gets worse. The higher end of the scale, which is VEI 6 to 8, is where the super eruptions happen. These are the most catastrophic events, though they happen rarely. They are characterized by colossal eruption columns that can reach the stratosphere, and the volume of erupted material is massive. The effects can even have a global impact on weather patterns and cause significant environmental and social consequences. Unfortunately, the Yellowstone volcano lies in this final category. As earlier mentioned, a group of researchers published a paper in 2014, and they discovered that if an eruption were to happen, it could send about 3 feet of volcanic ash all over the Midwest. Not only that, states like Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and Colorado could be buried under all that ash too. Disaster for vegetation and wildlife in the areas. Roofs would collapse under the weight of the ash, and electrical devices could be damaged. These ash particles also act as a barrier. They would reflect incoming sunlight back into space, causing a temporary cooling effect on the Earth's surface. This cooling effect can mess with the normal rainfall patterns, change how the wind blows, and cause disruptions in both regional and global climates. With changes in growing seasons and reduced crop yields, it becomes harder for farmers to grow the food we need, so it can lead to food shortages and challenges in feeding people. There's so much at stake if the Yellowstone volcano goes off beyond affecting just the park.
So that's one thing they have coming. Yeah, don't think it will not. That's one thing they have prepared to destroy you in the end by creating a massive smoke that creates a massive bad weather. It's going to affect your ability. I mean, it's going to have, probably won't be having no sun anyway, so there won't be no food. You see what I mean? It's all for the destruction. That's why they so worried about this Yellowstone bullshit. Because they're working there. It's their work. And so that, otherwise they wouldn't be here telling you all of that they can predict all of that stuff like a witch. It's not that that's all they do to destroy you. They working day and night. That's Yahweh and Jesus working day and night, making sure that they will reset you real good.
People wonder if the U.S. government is doing anything to reduce the implications of this terrifying reality.
Why will they?
What the U.S. government is doing to protect the region. Yellowstone has been a national park for a long time, but it wasn't until the 1960s that scientists fully grasped how massive the volcano actually is. And it wasn't until the 1980s that they realized it was still very much alive and could pose a major eruption threat. However, volcanoes can be pretty unpredictable. They don't act like machines with set schedules, and that's a big
Volcanoes, people, volcanoes and the earthquakes and storm are all unpredictable. That's the whole point. To be unpredictable is to be invisible to the masses. Is to be, the masses won't be able to think about this is something done by men because they claim it's unpredictable. That's the that's the trick, the magic trick. It's unpredictable because it's done by men. So man chooses when he's going to do it. Okay, so it's not going to happen in the middle of their economic boost, for example. It's going to happen when they all done and they want to wash you away. Yeah, it's going to happen when you're fed up and you want to change the system. It's going to happen when they're done with you. That's why they claim it's unpredictable. Okay, just like earthquakes are unpredictable. All these weapons they use are unpredictable. But you know that, there's a science behind all of this that they are not going to tell you. This is why I'm not dealing with these scientists. They're not going to tell you. They know what's going on. I mean, not all of them. I know, they are in the belief system, most of them. But the people that are behind all of this, they know what they're doing. It's the normal dudes that don't know what is going on. And one thing that is going on, America, they want it destroyed in the end. Yeah, so y'all need to wake up about these dudes because they have a plan to destroy America and many, many, many other places. You see? And I think that in the future, they want to replace these places with Chinese and Russians, probably. After this reset, well, they're going to wipe out all the Negroes, because these dudes are gods. They, just like the ancestors, they were not, because don't forget, we are the remnants of the last people that they destroyed and took their lands, but we're still here. You understand that? So they need to get rid of all of us, because as long as we're here, we're going to keep breaking this stuff down, you know what I'm saying? And they cannot, take all these lands. That's what they want. They want all these lands, okay, so they can probably, bring more Chinese over there. You can make a good lobby in there and do whatever the hell they want. When this happens, you won't see the volcanoes no more, because, they put the machine off. Understand that? So it's an evil spirit that is in that place, playing games on you and telling you false science.
When to expect them. This makes us mostly overlook their occurrences and not take them as seriously as we should.
Of course.
Because it's only still a potential threat. The government has not made major moves to lessen the impacts when it finally happens. Also, it's nearly impossible to plan for a catastrophe of that magnitude, especially when you
keep
can't...
showing the
This
same
AI tool will take
pictures,
your
man.
idea and create a complete
God damn.
design,
Damn
images,
man.
layout, everything, including
a catastrophe of that magnitude, especially when you can't tell when it's finally going to happen. There definitely will be plans for evacuations once the volcano becomes very threatening. Before then, all they can do is set up early warning systems and public awareness campaigns. They can also prepare necessary infrastructures like emergency shelters.
If it was a natural event, they wouldn't have no time to warn nobody, because they wouldn't know when it's going to blow up. It could blow up overnight. If it was natural, they could not tell what day, what time is going to happen. The only way they do is because they know what they're doing, just like the weather. Why do you think they tell you tomorrow is going to rain, next week that on Tuesday is going to rain, in 3 weeks on Wednesday is going to rain? How do you think they know? Because they do it.
But that's pretty dicey. If the volcano doesn't happen in this lifetime, then all of that will be a waste. Though some scientists have noted that it is unlikely for the Yellowstone volcano to erupt as a supervolcano or caldera again, nobody can be sure about it. The assumption also hasn't deterred many others from continuously observing the movement of magma underground the park surface. Further actions scientists and organizations are taking to keep us safe. There have been suggestions.
They don't keep you
people
safe, are you
things
kidding?
like plate tectonic shifts or changes in underground magma chambers as possible triggers for increased volcanic activity.
Okay, here we
Other
go.
people-
They gave you magma, people. They gave you magma. Can you verify that? And if it is magma, if magma was for real, well, why does he stops the flow? It will be flowing all the way every day because the hole's still there. It's not covered, right? And don't you find it weird that it only happens in certain places? If it was magma and the earth was a spinning ball like they tell you, and the magma is all the way in the center of the earth and is pumping pressure and melted the rocks to the surface, it could come from anywhere. It could go from any continent and even under the sea. It could go anywhere. It will be unpredictable where it's going to blow up next and cause a havoc. But here we got this old volcano, they claim, that's still doing this thing. Yeah, since the old road, it seems, is there and it's been doing this. And since the old road, they had technology to create this. That's the problem. You know? And if you notice, these volcanoes look like pyramids. Yeah, they were pyramids before or something. And they were converted into something else. Okay? What are they burning in there is something that you are ignorant about. But okay, we can talk about what happened in the road trade with the termites that you never heard before is something just, similar. Some shit that you never heard before. Burning when they want and causing the havoc. Because your education is limited. They educated you, so you don't know what's behind this. Unless you use your brain and your sixth sense and your higher self.
Wondered if recent earthquakes might be connected to potential volcanic eruptions.
Really?
These earthquakes have, however, been happening in thousands over the years. It's just that most of them are so small that we can't feel them. They are also classified into 4 different swarms. The SE earthquake swarms are quite common in the area and make up about half of the seismic activity.
It's Yahweh,
In May,
people.
even with
Any
all of
earthquake
these
is Yahweh.
observations, understanding volcanic systems is pretty complex, and there are lots of factors at play.
Ain't that something?
Thanks to-
Everything that involves all of this is pretty complex. Earthquakes is pretty complex. Volcanoes, it's pretty complex. Yeah, it has to be. Because you're not supposed to understand what they're doing. That's the whole magic behind it.
Monitoring efforts and the data collected at the park, though. Scientists can now improve their knowledge about Yellowstone caldera and draw helpful conclusions. Beyond the seismometer. Beyond the seismometer placement in the park, they are also using other devices to check the tectonic shifts. They use satellite technology to track and record even the tiniest changes in the Earth's surface position.
Okay, we stop right there. He killed himself. He just killed himself by claiming that they use satellite, to monitor the stuff. Can you believe that? Yeah, because that's how you know it's not real. Because they're going to tell you things that you already know is BS. Yeah, and if these things are BS, whatever is telling you here about this crap is BS, is a psyop.
During repeated measurements over time, they can spot any shifts in the landscape that might suggest volcanic activity. This GPS data gives valuable insights into the movement of magma beneath the surface and helps identify patterns that could be early signs of eruptions. Gas monitoring stations have been set up in strategic spots around Yellowstone as well. The stations analyze the gases released by the supervolcano, like sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide.
And so what? Monitoring
Changes in
for
gas
what?
emissions provide crucial clues about what's happening with the magma and rocks below. Any significant deviations from normal gas levels could hint at an increase in volcanic activity. Different organizations and experts have also looked into preventing explosions in the park. NASA had an intriguing idea to increase the amount of water inside the volcano. The thought behind this was that the water could extract heat from the system and reduce the risk of dangerous pressure buildup.
So, hold on. You got NASA involved in this, people. It gets worse. You got NASA involved in this. They're dropping water inside the volcano. What else are they dropping there that you don't know? And burns. They're not going to tell you. But now you know NASA is involved. Go on.
Pretty risky and challenging. This made them conclude that it wouldn't be feasible to attempt. With the uncertainties about the actual time of the eruption and the fear instilled by the Yellowstone lockdown, questions are being asked if it's necessary that all these measures are being taken. Speculations about the timing of the volcano.
Hold on.
In the past 10 years,
Look at it. Okay, go on.
the volcano has risen at the fastest rate ever observed, and the risk of a sudden eruption has increased by a whopping 320%. To make things worse, there's been a recent addition of magma to the reservoir.
So, if you're in America, if you're near this park, Yellowstone, you better move away because they're preparing to blow it up. That's all I'm telling you. It's telling you it's 360% up. They're warning you that the bullshit is coming down. See? Because not only the explosion can kill people, but I think the gases as well that they emanate from these mixes of burning materials can cause that too. And I think it's worse than the heat that the volcano is pushing out. And you got NASA dropping water inside so you can have water molecules and make some clouds because it's burning something there, and burning the water is burning all day. Cause rains and storms and all that. It's all a scientific project. People is a lab. They're working in there, they're doing something that they don't want to tell you. So they gave you this science, okay? They give you this, no, it's not a science, but this bad explanation of what's happening because it's a psyop. But when you start asking questions, you're going to find out the whole thing collapsed into nothing other than a psyop, okay? And the Bible confirms it.
Heard throughout the park after each geyser eruption. Over 8 years from 1996, also, the ground of the Norris Geyser Basin rose nearly 5 inches, then fell almost 3 inches in the next 8 years. And suddenly, out of nowhere, it rose again at a super fast rate of nearly 6 inches a year. There was even a powerful magnitude 4.9 earthquake in March 2014 that caused a halt in this relentless rise. But
everything bad happens in there now, people. You got volcano as well heating up at the same place where you got earthquakes hitting in there in the same place. They got this volcano going on. They're going to explain to you it's the pressure coming from underneath of magma. Have any of them been inside magma to prove you that magma is real? Have they? Hell no! They don't need to prove that, right? Keep going.
The ground going up and down until 2019, when it finally started descending again. Today, the basin stands proud about 5 inches higher than it was in 2000. Every time there is a rise in the ground level, there is a higher chance the volcano will happen soon. So you can imagine how unsettled the government and park authorities have been over the years. A popular scientist, Michio Kaku, has even emphasized that with all these telling signs, the volcano will definitely erupt one day. It might not happen many decades or even centuries from now, but we must continue to stay informed. While we might have had plans to visit, explore, and have a great time in Yellowstone Park during this period.
Okay, I'm going to stop now, people. It's almost finished anyway. But I want to conclude to you, after all we have seen, to use your own common sense and to ask questions. Okay? Ask questions. First off, this stuff looks like a pyramid up there, and they is working underneath that pyramid, and it looks like man-made stuff, you know what I'm saying? And there's something burning inside it. There's these dudes, they know science of what to mix to create certain gases, certain explosions, melting rocks, high temperatures, vibrations, radio waves, lasers. You know, they got the whole area of science that they can use to create this. It's not, you know, something natural by no means at all. You see that? It's no natural by no means at all. It's all man-made stuff to run their religious agendas, to run resets, yeah, and any other evil thing that they decide to run. Because they're telling you that this place is a cursed place. Nobody can live there. It's just a park. And it's unpredictable because the thing can come up to life anytime and kill millions of people that are near to it or whatever, and can even cause earthquakes. This area has been having earthquakes and everything. Don't you think there's something wrong with that? That needs to be questioned. But you gotta come clean. You gotta come with common sense and ask the right questions. You see? Because you have false history, false science, all together trying to fool you. But it's up to you to think outside the box, people. And stop that this is nothing but the agenda of reset. This is all set up to bring a destruction in the end of the day, and they will have justification that it's just a volcano that came up back to life and decided to kill millions. It's got nothing to do with your government, it's got nothing to do with the scientists, it's got nothing to do with Yahweh. That's what they tell you. But Yahweh already told you in his own script that he's the guy that do this. He does the earthquake, he does the volcanoes, he does all types of evil that you never heard of. You see? So I'm telling you guys, be careful, to watch out after one another, to question things and to get to be in the know, because they just playing you. Next minute, boom, you see the top of this volcano jumping up miles away up in the air, and it's falling over you. You're getting a fallout, and there's a dark, thick cloud that can kill, because just breathing this gas, it can kill you. So this is why the whole thing is dangerous and precarious. This is why I'm making this video, to open your eyes to see that sometimes you have to be you, or else you're gonna be taken for a ride and be destroyed for lack of knowledge. That's everyone. Love you all. Give the instructions. Shout outs to Brother Surf, shout outs to Brother Paul, shout outs to all my friends and anybody who takes part on this channel. Okay, Melody, Silla, everybody that supports this channel. Okay, and try to do better, and protection to you guys, and thank you for everything, for supporting this channel and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm here to pass you this truth to make you think. That's all, man. Love you all. Keep the instructions.